What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 22 of... It's 22, right? Of season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Going full spoilers ahead. So hopefully you've watched this episode. And let's do a real quick recap of this near end of the season episode. I think there's only one episode left, which is sad. But also with all the things happening, I'm kind of ready for a conclusion. Okay, so basically we see some of the characters, like Panda, the guy with the sword, I forgot his name. They're kind of discussing for a split second how the guy with the sword is very okay with being on the side of executing Yuji after this is all said and done. Kind of after seeing all the destruction that through him Sukuna was able to do, but he's definitely looking at Yuji as being basically a danger, from what I gathered from that. We see Mei is in, Malaysia, with that weird kid. We don't know how she escaped. She says that the kid had an ability that was able to get them out of there, so we kind of got off screen there. And she's telling people to basically take their money out of Japan and put it elsewhere. So she's running some deals. Geto is, or whatever version of Geto this is talking with Yuji while this is happening. He's kind of toying with him. And then Mahito makes a move, basically, on him, on Geto. And Geto does exactly what you said you thought he was going to do and absorbed him. Makes complete sense. Now he has Mahito powers, which is not a good mix. Absorbs him. And then, we also got a little blip of Chozo doing his whatever the fuck happened to him from Sukuna or wherever thing, where he's having these false flashbacks of good times with Yuji. Basically things are about to go bad, but then the cavalry arrives. The people who are on the train show up. Panda sword dude, I gotta remember that guy's name, and others show up. They all, as a team, try to attempt to take out Geto. It's not very useful because Geto is super powerful. And then Chozo shows up, saying all sorts of crazy shit. That Yuji's his little brother, that he knows that Geto is like this 150-year-old curse guy. Do you catch that? Sorcerer, yeah. Curse guy. And that he's pissed and that he's going to defend his little brother. Everyone's a little confused on that. There's a joke in there where Panda's like, first Toto, now this dude. You got some kind of pheromone that you're releasing. Chozo and Geto fight in a crazy sorcerer battle of blood lasers and crazy summons. So they're going at it, and then eventually, what am I missing here? Oh, everyone gets ready to coordinate to help Chozo, realizing that he's basically working on their side now, and they go to attack Geto and his like weird assistant chick. I don't know her name. Does some kind of ice ability, freezing everybody. Basically asking Geto if they need all of them to be messengers or if it's just Yuji they need. Basically planning on just murdering everybody. And Yuji's able to free himself, get a couple other people freed. They go to attack. They get frozen again. And we're kind of at the moment where it seems like they're going to kill everybody. And then everything gets stopped by, I don't remember her name, but she was in the movie and she knew actual Geto from the past, knew Geto, zombie Geto, recognizes her. She makes a comment to him, and that's the end of the episode. This episode had a lot of half information in it, so outside of the spectacle of the fights, there's a lot to try and keep up with. But with the next episode being the last episode, I'm sure we'll get some resolution and some clarity on some of these things. What do we think of this episode?
Well, it was definitely a spectacle.
It's fucking crazy.
So, interesting to see Mei Mei and her brother alive.
Is that her brother?
Mm-hmm. Yep, little sis and brocon happening there. Kind of bummed out that we didn't get to see that fight, but
Or at the very least, see wherever the fuck they did to get out.
Get out, yeah.
Yeah,
So.
that's...
But they're alive.
Kind of disappointing.
So that's the info there.
Yeah.
And then, some fan service for people who are into that kind of stuff.
Fuck, I guess.
Then, as we kind of go through, and obviously all the fighting stuff was amazing looking. I'll just throw that out there now. But as we kind of go through and start getting a bunch of information, it was kind of interesting to. First off, it's nice to see the Kyoto class show up and get a little bit of action in there. But also, I was kind of mostly focused on what's his name, Chozo.
Yeah.
He's having all these flashbacks, and I'm still not 100% sure if that's influenced by Sukuna or not. Because I'm starting to think that it's not, because he re-explains that he could feel anyone he's blood related to some extent. And when he almost killed Yuji, he felt that, apparently.
Yeah.
And then he also goes and explains that the thing that's inside Geto's body has been in multiple bodies before, and one of those bodies is his relative as well. And so dude's just been kind of spreading his seed all over the world, and Chozo can just, all of a sudden he's having a family reunion of sorts of like, and they're not like immediate, like, when he's calling him his brother, he's not like literally his brother, but it's more like a distant cousin or something like that. So is the way I'm interpreting it.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on that. Well, there's a lot of confusing stuff here that I don't think we're supposed to fully know. It's all hints, but that he detected something from Yuji is interesting, because before he left and had that memory that he even said was like this like false memory, we got a glimpse of Sukuna when that happened.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, it could just be a natural thing, but I'm also wondering if Sukuna is somehow manipulating his ability to sense that shit.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest hang up I have on it. Because otherwise, like, even the story he's presenting, assuming it's true, because Geto even acknowledges that it.
That was the only thing that seemed weird, is that he's like, oh, you realized it.
Realize we're related. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so it's not completely false.
Yeah. So I almost wonder, and if it doesn't get explained, I guess we'll have to look it up or something. But if Sukuna just like unlocked, kind of like threw something at him real quick to make him feel that connection or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that he wouldn't kill him, because obviously he has a deep protective nature of his siblings, as we've seen already. So that was pretty interesting. Also, just learning a little more about the parasite, essentially, that's in Geto, being someone who has had multiple bodies and has all these ancient techniques, because they've been around for like 150 years. So that was a nice little tidbit of information, though. They kind of say it as, because they all understand what this clan is and who this person was. But, like, obviously we, the viewers, unless they've brought it up, and I just...
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Missed it. I don't know who this guy is, other than they literally said he's part of a family of sorcerers that's famous, but he was, like, the dirty smudge on the family, basically. So, little bits of information, but they really want you to also... They're not spoon feeding, which I actually kind of appreciate, because a lot of anime spoon feeds way too much. Too much exposition,
too much like, oh, isn't that blah 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 from back in the day? Yeah, his father was taken out by blah blah blah, and like all this fucking
versus they're having a conversation that they understand, and we're just witnessing it.
And we're just like going, okay, we got to connect the dots here.
Yeah, so from a view, like from that standpoint, I really appreciate it. Though it's kind of like, I wish I could ask when you guys some questions right about now, though. So it's a weird mixed bag there, but just from a viewing experience, I think I prefer this, anyways. Yeah, what am I missing here? Oh yeah, the absorbing of Maito, I kind of expected, especially because he was frail and beaten at that point, so it was like the perfect opportunity to get him. We saw that happen, so but I wasn't expecting him to get used in the way he did, because he was explaining that outside of a domain expansion, there is a way to use an ability that reduces your options in it but increases its powers, and I'm completely forgetting the terminology they used. But
Bankai, dude, is ultimate something.
yeah, Uzumaki.
Yeah.
Which I think, doesn't that just mean spiral? I could be wrong. Anyways, and then we got to see him use Mahito for that, with some really crazy audio stuff happening when he was coming out, and then just a big explosion. So that was pretty cool. And then the little flashes here and there of the Kyoto students, all throwing out their moves and stuff. I didn't realize the person on the broom could do anything other than fly, so that was nice to see that they can do like blades of wind with their broom.
Yeah, even though that chick just...
Yeah, I didn't expect anything to happen, but at least we got to see her do something. Am I missing anything?
You might, because there's a lot of shit that happened in this episode. I was like trying to keep up constantly, and also like watch the fight scenes, but also like read anything people are saying. And yeah. I
mean, the last thing I'm just gonna add is, and I've said a million times at this point, but I could watch whoever is in charge of, like, or maybe it is directly from manga, I don't know, but the choreography is so good. Watching,
there's a lot that's gonna be filled in between what are those called, frames or whatever, in a fucking manga. So somebody who's doing the animation's got to think about choreography.
Yeah, and it's just wild to see, like, the hand is like so good, and then like we had two people fighting each other who have like really like very creative abilities anyway. So like him being able to just constantly summon curses to just be tools the whole time, and just like integrating that into his fighting style while also being a competent martial artist. And then Chozo's blood magic, though, they could have easily just made him do beams all the time. He does all sorts of crazy little tricks, like when he stopped himself from falling. Like that was such a cool
and then boost
moment.
Himself back up. And then he pulled out daggers, and
it's just like the creativity is out of this world. And it's even so fun.
Even to your exact point of choreography, hand to hand, and all that shit, you had a perfect mix in it. When they got close, they started fighting martial arts style. Yeah. But then when he grabbed him from behind, he used his hands to shoot a fucking beam behind him to try and take him out. It was so like the brain that it takes to like think up that kind of stuff. Like I couldn't come up with a fight scene like that. Like my brain's not wired that way. So huge props to the person or people in charge and who went through and did all that. Like I'm just always, this whole season I've just been in awe. So very cool. All the fight scenes have been great.
Yeah. So well deserved recognition, hopefully. I hope that they get it at least. I think it's a little tricky in Japan because a lot of times people's names aren't always given to the public, but Mappa and the manga artists, all of you guys, they're awesome. So
yeah. Anything else?
That's it.
The episode was great. I really liked it. Specifically the fight between Chozo and Zombie Ghetto. It's very cool to watch. It's cool to see, basically, I mean, they're all sorcerers, but like two very magic based people fighting that have very different abilities. It was kind of cool to just kind of see how they did that. Mostly it was just Ghetto evading, but except for he sent that face at him, which he just cut right in half.
The womp wall.
It's exactly what it looked like. But yeah, it's cool to see other characters. It's cool to see the whole cavalry show up. It's cool to see the Kyoto class come back after that train scene, essentially getting that, message that their likelihood of surviving the situation wasn't great, but still showed up because they didn't want to be useless. They want to help. So, them showing up at all was cool. I do agree as well. Seeing the broom chick do something other than reconnaissance was pretty cool, even though they just deflected it, but they still didn't want to get hit by it. So, but yeah, that was interesting. Also, person just shooting at Ghetto and him just basically catching the bullet.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he threw up a squid real quick to stop the bullet, and then he just grabbed the bullet from it.
Yeah. He's just checking it out while everybody's figuring out what the fuck they're doing. The Chozo thing's really interesting because it kind of dawned on me a couple days ago that he might be coming back for this because when he originally walked off, I was like, where's he going?
Yeah.
And then we had discussed in one of our reviews, I think you had said that maybe he's just gone. Maybe we won't see him for a while. And very much could have been the case. But then between my girlfriend fucking all of a sudden becoming a Chozo fan out of nowhere when she's reading the manga, I was like, okay, so he's going to become likable. I got it. And then also, thinking about when they portrayed him, they never really portrayed him as like a villain. He just seemed like he had a different ambition, but he didn't seem like he was just trying to get revenge for his brothers basically. Yeah. So I was like, oh God, they're going to make him into a good guy for sure, or at least an ally for now.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I was thinking about that, I'm like, he's going to show up in this episode, I bet. And sure as fuck, here he is. So, which is cool because I really like the fight. I like his abilities. He seems interesting, even though, Yuji's got a tendency to have people out of nowhere just really fucking like him a lot. Assume they got a closer connection than they actually do. Although I will be interested to see where it does go in terms of his ability to sense siblings. That's really interesting. Because that's definitely all he cares about. Also, the girl, I forgot her name, from the movie showing up.
What's your type?
Very, very interesting to see her show up because she was kind of there in a scene with Get. Or was that the movie or was that the 5-episode prequel thing? I don't remember. She was in that though. Her and Geto were talking.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it was the
prequel.
The
Hidden Inventory.
Yeah, I think it was Hidden Inventory. They were talking, and then she rode off on the motorcycle. So yeah, I don't know much about her, but I feel like we're going to learn a little bit about her at the very least in the next episode. I'm really excited to see that because
she's part of the same class, so she's been around just long.
Sure. So yeah, I'm wondering what she can even do because she just stopped everybody from dying. So that's a pretty big deal. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be the last episode of the season, so some kind of conclusion is going to happen. I have a feeling she might stick around. I don't know. Unless she gets killed next episode, I doubt that, but we'll see. No spoilers, please. If you read the manga, we have not read the manga. My girlfriend has. She hasn't spoiled shit for me, so don't do it for us as well.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it. I'd like to go into all this random or not knowing. Yeah, so that was interesting as well. And then the ice thing was fucking crazy. That chick is fucking no good. I don't like her. Freezing everybody, getting ready to fucking shoot Chozo in the head with the ice. Anyway, the whole episode was really fucking good. I really liked it. Just a lot of confusion here, but it's definitely intended, and I can't wait to find out more in the next episode and see how they're going to resolve this season because it's been a fantastic season in really any anime I've watched. So if they can conclude it in a way that's satisfying, that'd be great. But yeah, really liked the episode. Really enjoyed the fight scene. It's very cool.
And then whoever has an obsession with hands, in this show,
what do you mean?
Anytime there's scenes with hands moving and stuff, it's it's so detailed. Even with Maito's domain expansion and all the hands and stuff folding in and out of each other, and then even as he was getting absorbed, he started a bunch of hands just started flying out all of a sudden. I don't know, that there's a lot of hand theming.
Well, it's the source of a lot of their abilities. Toto has to be able to clap.
Yeah.
Fucking Chozo was putting his hands together
Yeah.
to shoot. Like, it's all where their abilities are coming from. So
And they spent a lot of time like showing like slow motion movement of hands and stuff like that. It's like I'm not. It's just new for me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, kind of crazy, especially because a lot of people are like hands is like their worst enemy when it comes to drawing. So.
Yeah, in every form ever. I mean, even AI doesn't like hands.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, they're difficult. Remember when I was younger and when I was still into drawing, hands were always the worst thing. But yeah,
Yeah. One more, and then I have no idea where the show's going after this, to be honest, because a lot of the stuff that was just constantly built up to is like literally happening. So it's kind of crazy.
yeah. I'm really curious to see what the next season of this will be like, because this does feel like it's concluding a lot of things that have felt normal for a while now in the show, and a lot of things have changed now. So
Yeah.
really curious about that. I also read a thing today or yesterday saying that the creator of JJK is going to conclude it in 2024, likely.
I heard that. Yeah.
So that's good for the show, because that means we still got a lot coming out in terms of like seasons. But for the manga readers, it sounds like it's concluding. So yeah, hopefully it's satisfying. The way they
Yeah, that would be the part I worry about. I'm just glad that this is a bit of a tangent, but like in this more modern age of anime and stuff like that, mangas actually end.
Yeah. Yeah, I get if you want to do the whole shonen thing and you want to fucking keep continuing and serializing and, have like what would basically be like The Simpsons or South Park here, where it just goes on for fucking ever. But if you want to tell a good story, I think you need a good ending. And I think you need a story that doesn't fucking meander. And, filler's not as big of a thing as it used to be. But, like, people always appreciate, like, nobody wants something to end. But if you fucking end it right and the whole story was done well, which this show so far I think only has gotten better, I think people will appreciate that, and they'll put something on on a pedestal of being like legendary as opposed to just a fun anime.
Yeah, well, that's why Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is so high regarded, I believe, is because like it ended and it ended well. So,
well, Cowboy Bebop too has an ending. All the good animes should, and then you got stuff like Berserk, which, as popular as it is, they won't fucking figure that out. So,
and has been serialized forever. So.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyways, probably got a couple more arcs left of the show, I believe, and then that'll be it. So.
Yep. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, let us know what you guys thought of this episode. What was your favorite part? What was something that we didn't talk about? I did kind of skip over a lot of stuff because I was trying to remember every major event that happened.
And then 1.5 million names of people that is impossible to remember.
I got a lot of them down now, though. But, yeah, they got the sword. I've only seen them like 3 times this season. And
or the chick who just showed up
said
their name, and I was like, already forgot it.
Yeah, I don't even remember at all. But yeah, let us know what you thought of this episode. I've been Seth, this has been Chevy. Until the next episode and the next review of the end of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, we will talk to you guys later.